Hey,
We
back like
are
I forgot
back.
something because I forgot something. What up, bro?
What's happening?
Man, you know what's up, bros with mics. What's up? And you know I had to hear him get it in real quick, man. Especially after that hard fought game, man.
Yeah,
It was a tough
crazy,
one. You know why?
crazy.
Because we were fighting the refs the entire time. We
Oh
were
no,
fighting the refs the entire time, man. I mean, that and between the refs and Joe Milton, I don't know who was trying to take us out more. To be honest with you. And you know, I'm a big Joe supporter. I'm not even gonna come like that. I'm a big Joe supporter. Well, I was a big Joe supporter,
Mhm.
and then this game happened right here, man. It's just I don't know. But got to start off. I'm Tom,
I'm Cody.
and this is Bros with Mike. Thank you
Bros
guys if
with
you are
Mix.
tuned in right now. We are live, man. Uh, and we just finished up with Tennessee. It is 20-13 ending score. Tennessee finished off Texas A&M at home. I think that puts us to a 13-0 homer right there, home record right there. We don't
14.
lose at the Casa. You can't
14.
lose at the Casa. 14?
Yeah, 14 straight.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing,
yeah.
man. It's a beautiful thing. You
Nice.
love to see it. Yeah, but like I was saying, we had a hard fought game. And I said before that it's going to come down to what? The run game and defense. And who's going to make a mistake latest in the game? Who's going to make that last minute mistake that's going to make something shake? And we were able to force some mistakes. We saw in the third quarter, which I can try to pop up right here, something right now for everybody, so y'all can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, by the way, I am under the weather still. I know y'all, whoever caught my last video, seen that I was a little sick, still battling that. But like I said, grind don't stop. We still back at it every single day.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
hey,
Let
and
me get this.
the nosebleed says again, your wide receivers are killing a lot of drops.
Yeah, there was a couple drops right there that were just. I mean, we ended up scoring on a few of those drops, but Keaton, man, it seems like we're hurting without Brew McCoy. You can see the effects of not having Brew McCoy. That's our sure-handed guy, our big body guy. You saw it out there on the blocking. We saw a lot of holds, man, a lot of holds. I'm gonna come back to this video because I was gonna do the video that shows, but we get towards the end with that. There's a lot of holds right here. If we go into our the box score, the amount of penalty yards we gave them, not that we gave them, that the refs gave them for every little thing was atrocious. It was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the refs missed 4 or 5 maybe pass interference that would have helped us get some yards. But then again, our linemen after Mincy went down, it just kind of messed up. People had to shift places, and you saw the effects of people shifting right there. We had a lot of holds. Now I want to put it all on Joe and say, Joe, you were screwing up because Joe wasn't doing great. He had a great run. I was saying, Joe, you need to run the ball. Joe, come on, man. You are 6'6", 6'5". Why are you not putting your shoulder down? You slide on this guy's, and he goes, lays the pipe, boom, and then turn around and throws interception.
Here and there.
No,
He
I'm talking about the one he went. He gave it to the shoulder, boom, on the sideline, stepped over him, like, yeah, what's up? And then threw an interception the next play.
he did. There was one corner that he went up against that he was clearly bigger than, that
Yeah,
he kind of got folded a little bit. But I wouldn't say folded, but the outcome that you would probably predict in a situation like that did happen.
yeah.
But no, Joe is not it. I ain't gonna lie. I know a lot of
Joe.
people, a lot of Tennessee fans probably think that I'm bashing Tennessee. I do
No, the
this.
crazy thing is you're not. You're not. There's actually ESPN article out, and it's pretty nationwide, and all Tennessee fans are kind of like, "Hey, Joe, it might be time to pull Joe." Right? Joe's not getting the job done. Joe's looking a lot like Jay Guarantano and Butch Jones, right? JG
BB
and Butch Jones.
Big Ball Daddy said Milton is not the guy, and I can completely agree with that. I've said this from the second week of college football. I said that Joe Milton is not the guy.
He ain't him. He's not
I
Himmy
hope. I
Himerson.
know you was hopeful for him and you pulled for him, but he is not the guy. If Texas A&M had a offense, they win this game easily.
But I
But
will say our defense looked great, and it's not that Texas A&M have offense because Max Johnson can complete passes, but the amount of pressure and we're not because I don't want you to downplay Tennessee. Like Texas A&M offense was just that bad, and if they were a lot better, it's not that they were better. We had pressures on them. We had what 2 sacks, 9 knockdowns, and 14 hurries.
I say that to
Right?
say this:
That's we were putting that we kind of forced our offense to be bad with the amount of pressure we put on. Our defense was standing on their heads tonight.
the nosebleed said, "Who would you rather see as the backup?"
Gaston Moore. I want Gaston Moore in. I mean, I
Okay.
want Nico. Everybody wants Nico. I'm not gonna lie. I do want Nico, but I want to preserve Nico. I don't want to risk Nico getting hurt because Nico is the future of Tennessee. Right.
I
That
mean,
is that is our future. Gaston Moore has been there. He's been under the system. He understands how it plays. Nico is still young. He's a freshman. He's a new guy. We saw in the spring ball. We thought, hey, Nico, come out there. Nico, what his that speed change from high school to college isn't quite there yet for him,
okay. So
especially at this time of year when we're in conference play.
I would say this though. It's kind of like the backup quarterbacks are sitting out this year, like Jackson Arnold for Oklahoma. He gets a lot of PT. And next year, you don't throw somebody in the fire because all offseason, he's still not game experience. So at this point, it's like, oh, we want to preserve him. Your season's still playable. Your
I mean,
season's
but we
still
just
up for
we can't put
grabs.
him into like a Bama game. We can't put him into a Georgia game. It's hard to want to put him in a Missouri game. He might get play time UConn, right? That'll be the determining factor if we need him, the UConn game, because that's one of the ones you can see. Okay, it gives us time before we get back into Georgia and then Vandy. If he comes out and we put him in UConn and he shows out, or if you have to play somebody, you have to play him. If Joe Milton's just that bad when it's unacceptable, like you going 11 for 22 for 100 yards only, when we could have had a lot more, though there was some drops right there.
There was some drops. I give him
There
that.
was
There was
some
some drops.
wide open drops that we've had, and the guys just couldn't. You couldn't make play. Pissed on the leg. The moment was too big for him. Right.
I mean, I it's hard because it's kind of like the coach. I don't know. The coach is weird. Josh Heupel has some few coaching mistakes that I scratch my head about, but I guess you see things differently. You're around your players all the time, so you know their potential more than us as fans do.
Yeah.
But if I'm Josh Heupel, I'm throwing Nico in because if that's who you want to be your starter, I want you to get
You
your
trying to
game
do like a
experience.
Nick Saban moment, like throw him in here. Here's what
Why
we got.
not?
He ain't ready because you don't want to do that. Then you completely throw yourselves out of contention. With Joe, we don't throw ourselves completely out of contention. We put ourselves in hard situations, but we don't throw ourselves out of contention. What if Nico comes in and he's not ready, throws a couple pick sixes, and it puts us in a position where we can't come back? You don't want to risk throwing him in too early. Or good analogy. You don't want to pull the steak out of the oven and start eating and realize, hey, it wasn't done yet. Too late. You've already started eating at that point in time, right?
You can
And
you can
that's
throw
how
you can
it
throw
could.
it back in
Or
the oven though. You can throw it back
yeah,
in the
you
oven.
throw you go up at the sideline, but then you got to recover your meal. Then you got to eat the sides. You gotta reap what you sow in that moment. So
Okay,
it's just like,
so let's go to this. Alabama doesn't win the championship. Great quarterback. I mean, great coaches do great things. And me, I'm taking Joe Milton out. He ain't it. I'm
but
sorry, he's not it.
what have you said plenty of times? You said plenty of times. Coach knows what he knows, right? The coach sees who's competing. They're gonna put
Yeah, he
in
does.
who's in the
But
best.
I'm
So what
taking
if Nico just ain't ready?
then Nico's not gonna be ready next year
He
because
It
no,
takes some
it's
maturing. He needs maybe get his weight up. Maybe he just got to learn the system
no,
because these plays are
no.
coming
If
fast.
you're not in a position to start now, you're not going to start next year and think, okay, I'm good because I'm here. Yes, being in the system is great. I get that. But at the same time, you need game experience. And when you don't have that game experience, it will show on the field. So for me, look at the great coaches that has made those adjustments. Lincoln Riley. Our team was not that great with Spencer Rattler until Caleb Williams came in. Boom, made some shake. And I get y'all was up and the game was close. I probably wouldn't have pulled him out of this game. No. I probably wouldn't even place him in the next game. But if we get down bad enough, I'm putting him in. He needs the
I mean, yeah,
experience.
if that's the point, if we're down, we're bad, where it's almost unrecoverable, where it's like, Joe, you're not gonna make. Then you got to do what you got to do in that case. You got to do what you got to do. But all I'm saying is Gaston Moore is still an option. He's still a solid quarterback. He's still somebody. They just have so much faith in Joe right now. They
Yeah.
really do. They really do. And I'm not saying I
I
don't
don't know why.
know why, but I don't know why.
Okay, so we have some comments here. So the nosebleed says, totally agree. He'd be better. And Nico's not mentally nor physically ready, to be honest. Okay. So BBD says, we want to see him in the UConn game because we will be in a big dogfight in the fourth with Joe.
Be out there struggling against UConn in the fourth. That is a huge possibility, BVD.
It
That is
is.
a huge possibility that Joe could put us in a situation where we just it's almost unrecoverable sometimes. But we do have a great running game to fall back on. We see another game where they put up 230 yards, and I will say that people, hey, don't start panicking yet. Only because arguably, and my argument is, this is probably one of the best defenses we will see all year. Arguably one of the best. Statistically, we look at it as arguably one of the best defenses in the nation, right? The way the pass rush is, the way the run stop is, it is great. This team was supposed to stop us from running it. This was if the team was going to do it, it would have been this team, and we
I'm just
still put
looking.
up 232 yards.
I'm looking at the Bamas. I'm looking at the Georgias. I'm thinking those teams have a pretty decent offense. I would say better than A&M. So that's I feel like that's the defense did play exceptionally well. I'll say that, but like we've said again, they are playing against a backup quarterback. Maybe I think a
A
backup
backup quarterback
backup.
who season he played at LSU, switched and became the
He
player
was the
from Max
backup at
Johnson.
he was backup at
He
LSU.
started for 1 year. He started at LSU 1 year.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I
Max.
could be wrong. I could be wrong. Could be
Yeah.
wrong. But backup quarterback. Let's see what he does against a solid quarterback. Let's see what. This is my take on Tennessee. I think they're
I mean,
good.
Spencer Rattler,
Spencer Rattler,
solid quarterback,
horrible South Carolina team. But you see what
but a
happened
great quarterback.
last year. But last year, y'all's defense wasn't as great as this year. I think y'all's defense did make a step up,
Yeah.
but did it make a step up to defend the Alabamas, who I still don't think is great offensively, and the
Mhm.
Georgias, who is decently on offense.
But
Brock
look at
Bowers
this
just went
Vandy
down
game. Look at
today.
Georgia and Vandy. That was questionable.
But it's up in the air, and that's why I say that like the SEC is weird this year because I don't see one team that I'm like, oh, they're just the dog. Like honestly, I don't believe that Tennessee beats Georgia, but I think they can beat Georgia
Yeah, we
because
have the potential.
I don't think that Georgia is great
Mhm.
offensively. Kentucky game was I don't know. I have no clue really. Like
Yeah.
it's one
Fluke.
of those things about Georgia is like I have no clue. But
I mean, we looked at Georgia today. I mean, when they lost Brock Bowers, they started looking like hot garbage, right? They started looking real inconsistent. Couldn't
I
find who
mean
we
they was
wanted to go.
looking
Lucky,
inconsistent before that.
yeah, luckily McConkey stepped up for him and had a great game. The running back had a great game, but they didn't look like the Georgia we've been seeing, who only wanted to throw it to Brock Bowers. Excuse me for that. I have to pour me something to drink because I'm a little parched, guys. Um, I don't know, man. Either way, go. You strive each week to go 1-0, right?
Yeah, you got one to
We
know.
got the 1-0, and the one thing I wanted to see was defense be able to step up and run game, be able to continue to prove itself, and we did that. Like I said, this game, 223 yards. All the running backs got their hand in the chili this time, right? Everybody got some loving right here. We started with Jalen Wright, had 19 carries for 136.
It's
Jabari Small, 42. And the rest of them still has some pretty good yards. Even Milton got some runs in there, like I said, finally. But at first, Milton was looking real 5'8", 120 pounds out there.
yeah, he was looking
Like, what are you doing, big dog?
I
We
don't know.
brought you here. I mean, not even what 3 weeks ago, Cam Newton was my idol. That's why I would be like, you wasn't running like Cam Newton a couple of those times. You sure
I
said you
mean,
wasn't passing like him.
I look at my team. I look at every team and take away the bads.
Mm.
That's all I do is look for the bad. So I don't want to look at this game and say, "Oh, Tennessee ain't this, Tennessee ain't that." I'm rooting for Tennessee, um, just solely because of you. I think Tennessee is. They probably drop two more games, but I don't think they have to drop those two more games. I think you gotta figure out your QB position, and that's almost too late. I want to say almost too late, just because we're halfway through the season.
And Joe
Receive
Milton is still doing Joe Milton things
where
at this
where
point.
receivers are used to what they're used to.
Mhm.
Velocity of passes, targets, all kind of things go into play.
I mean,
But
I don't think they would mind not getting their fingers jammed a couple times from
but
the way Joe is slinging. I don't think they would be too upset. But you're right. You used to that power. You used to those passes being a little bit higher from Joe. You used to being a little bit out of range where you got to go make the catches for it, as opposed to a quarterback who might put it on it, but it might be a lot softer. Right? You get what I'm saying? So that
so
causes a couple lookaways at the last second. Oh, damn! I thought the ball was going to get there quicker.
I have a comment here. So the nosebleed says, um, Georgia did this last year, struggled half of the season, did what they did in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay, I can agree. I honestly think Georgia's a playoff team. I do,
yeah,
but I think they're a beatable team. And
yeah.
the first year, I say, I don't know. The second year, I thought there was a beatable team. Or no, I didn't think there was like really. I think Ohio State honestly was a better team than Georgia
Yeah,
last year.
should have won that. The first year,
So
Georgia, I said they wouldn't beat it with that defense was something like
yeah,
21 Georgia was ridiculous
was
on
good,
defense.
but last year's Georgia, Ohio State was the better team. I don't
Yeah,
care what anybody says; they were. But like this year, if we're talking about Tennessee versus Georgia, we'll know a little more about Georgia. We'll know more about Tennessee. If Joe Milton's starting a game, which he probably will,
yeah.
Georgia wins this game easily, I believe. Um,
I I wouldn't say easily, man. Like I said, it's just something about the home field advantage. We're undefeated at home for a reason. We can get it done. Though it's tight. We saw Bama was tight. We seen plenty of tight games that we managed to win because we're at home. So, and the Florida game was tight. We won it at home. So we can't say just because it's a guarantee, not even guarantee, it's likely. That home field advantage, something about Tennessee being at home, it's just something about it.
I
You're able to
mean,
get that
clearly
dub. You're able to thug it out to get that win.
yeah, clearly 14 straight at home is very impressive. The only reason I say Georgia is because I don't like Tennessee's offense is not good. Besides their run game, I like their run game's great, but their passing game is just horrible.
Our thing is, our receivers get open. The quarterback just don't get them the ball,
It's
man.
no like
They be
it's
wide open in
it's
stride.
it's bad. Like the offensive passing game for Tennessee is bad, and honestly, A&M I felt like was a better offensive team this game. But
Mhm.
Tennessee, like you said, Tennessee's defense made strides to be better than last year. So Tennessee, I don't know. Me and DeVars was watching this game. It was kind of like, bro, the whole time we was like, Tennessee's so bad, so bad.
Yeah.
And just because the things that they were missing, and I don't even think it was the refs. I really don't. Like, I just think it's Tennessee beating Tennessee at the end of the day. Like,
I say that, but the refs did miss a lot of questionable calls that could have cost.
I
We
mean,
could have had
that
an extra score. This could have been a 27-13, a 27-10 game technically because we lost in the kick. Could have been a 27-10 game instead of a.
that happens every game though. So I don't like
But
unless
these
it's like
passes,
one of those.
but it's very like it's very obvious pass interference they miss. Like it's a very obvious where dude's going up, your hand is getting pulled like this, and it's just like let him play. But then we turn around and do the same thing and get called for it. It's like, come on, y'all.
I
And
see.
Gary
I know
Dellison,
it.
Gary D, please stop calling Tennessee games. Leave CBS. I'm tired of hearing your voice, Gary. I
I,
honestly am.
I seen what player you're talking about. I don't know if that ball was catchable,
There
but
was like two of them that were like, come on, man. Like some were a little bit not as obvious, but there were two that were pretty obvious. And then turn around, the same thing happened, and they get the call. I'm like, come on, ref. Some of the holding calls. Now I won't say the refs were just absolutely crap for both. For Tennessee, they were crap in general. There's a clear face mask, clear as day face mask that we got again towards Texas A&M. The guy pulled him down. It was what about 30, 40 seconds left. They could have got the first down when they put him in field goal range, and the whole head was snapped to the side like this on the way down. So he did miss that. So at least they were crap all around, not just
yeah,
crap
they
for
missed
Tennessee.
that. They definitely or what and then A&M got some bad calls too, or
Mhm.
non calls. Tennessee face
Yeah,
masks a couple times.
yeah.
Um,
And that's what I was talking about. Where it's like they should have got a face
yeah,
mask and gave them the first down right there. But
yeah.
if
Like I
you're
said,
bad all the way around.
you the thing you like to see is it happened both ways. So I don't want to pull the ref card because it did happen both ways. I mean,
Yeah,
it happened both ways in the OU Texas game. I seen holding penalties that should have been called. I seen face masks that Oklahoma pulled that should have been called. It's you like it to be consistent on both sides.
yeah.
Me, I like for the refs to let the players play. But PI's obvious PI and holding's obvious holding. But
Mhm.
do I think Tennessee is where they need to be? Nah. I would say I don't think Alabama's good. I don't. But I do think that Bama could potentially beat Tennessee just because of Joe.
Of our
Like
offensive efficiency for the passing.
I don't. Yeah,
This
because
passing attack, it's a bit egregious, man.
you're gonna
I'm
face a
not even gonna.
better. You're gonna face a better offense, and you're gonna face a better or you're gonna face a better minded head coach coordinator
Yeah,
and Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. You think those people's not gonna key in and let Joe sling the rock,
yeah,
key in on a
they're
run?
gonna force him to throw it. They're gonna.
Come on,
I mean, but A&M tried to force us to throw it, and we on the thing is, even with them trying to force us, we still only threw it 22 times, which ain't a lot.
which ain't a lot.
22
So that's what
passes
I'm
in the
saying.
entire game.
You take away Tennessee's run game, it's like Tennessee probably scores a touchdown a game, maybe. Um, I
I don't
just
know. We still are deadly in other ways, but 115 yards and penalties. That's a lot.
that's something you got to clean up as on your team. I
But
mean,
Didn't I make that comment? You remember that? I said we gotta watch out for Tennessee giving up pennies at home. I wouldn't expect that.
No, somebody said at home, which you
Who was
wouldn't. I think it was BVD said that, but
yeah.
you wouldn't expect that. You would expect Tennessee not to
Discipline,
have
like
those penalties,
control,
but
yeah,
but
control,
they're
discipline. Yeah.
they're making like I, oh, I really don't mean to bash Tennessee, but it's just
They're
bro,
making
it
it hard
was
right now. I mean, we got the win. I don't want to be the positive always pushing sunshine because at this moment they don't deserve pushing sunshine. We got the win. Hey, congratulations! You're
mhm,
supposed to win at home. You're supposed to defend home turf. But
yeah,
at some point in time, you got to call a spade, man. And you
yeah.
got to be like, yo, this is not going to get us to the rest. This is what gameplay like that's what cost us the Florida game.
I don't
Joe
see.
being jittery back there and just throwing crap, and then yeah, it's my fault. Duh, it's your fault. You don't have to tell us. We saw what you did. We know it's your fault. That's the same way he threw the interception at Florida. Did not see the underneath guy, the safety, clear as day standing. He didn't move. The safety took 1, 2 steps back, interception. Like Joe, this is the same thing you did at Florida, bro.
I
Come
don't.
on, man.
I don't see a playoff team in Tennessee right now.
At this at this exact moment, I don't. I don't. But shit changes. All right. It's any given day. I mean, maybe I could say maybe it's because we came off the bye. Rust versus rest. You're a factor. What you said. Maybe the rust of not having an immediate game, like everything's still smooth. We lost a huge player for us, a huge player in Brew McCoy, a star receiver for us. Losing that does make a big impact, as we saw with the receivers out there just not be able to get the blocks, not catching the open balls, which Brew catches with ease. So maybe we can say it's that. Maybe it's losing Brew. New people having to step up. Like this one cat, I ain't never heard this man's name before. Nimrod, I ain't never heard that man's name called before.
I
Got 4
mean,
catches.
next week you got Bama.
So we're gonna have to get our act together. I still didn't see anything from Thornton, which I'm assuming maybe Thornton was hurt. Didn't hear his name, didn't see a catch, didn't see anything. If anybody got something in the comments and you saw that, he was hurt, let me know because Thornton didn't come in at all. And that was another person I thought was gonna make some plays, and I didn't see anything from him this game.
Yeah. Don't know. I probably. Oh goodness, I don't know. I
Yeah,
probably
man.
like Alabama, Tennessee next. Up next, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, Oklahoma's coming off a week 2. We got UCF, Dylan Gabriel's old squad. Just to shout that out.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, Bama.
It's a
Think
lot
they?
to look forward to right now. We're gonna have to clean some stuff up, big dog.
Do you think you win that game?
If we play the way we played today, no. Hold on. If the offense plays the way it played today, no. If special team shows up with a huge run back, we were waiting for them to get it to him. We wanted him to get the ball. We knew it was going to happen if they got him the ball. He's that type of player. If
Mhm.
special teams and defense plays the way they played today, 100% we get a W. However, comma, if Joe Milton doesn't get his act together, actually, you know what? Let me even preface it even more. Everybody on the team played the way you played, except for 2 people on the offensive line and Joe Milton. If y'all play the way you played today, we lose. If those 3 guys, the line stays healthy, Joe Milton just give me a little bit of what you did for Clemson, bro. Like, please let Bama be how you were for Clemson. If there's any game, and I know we said Georgia's another one, but I can't stand Bama. There's one team I want to beat. It's Alabama. Alabama. So if there's one team I want to beat, it's Alabama. So Joe, if you can give me that for this one game, if you don't drop to Georgia. I don't want to speak into existence. Like do great at Georgia, but if he can show up, complete these passes, the guys are getting open, right? They're getting open. Guys, catch these balls. I understand Joe doesn't know power control. He's all thrust, no vector. I understand it. But put some cotton swabs in your daggone gloves. Get something to pad it up. Put a little wool under there, right? You got to catch these passes. You can't let the moment be too hot where you piss down your leg. You got to make it shake. Joe, complete the passes. Catch the ball. What is it? Throw the ball, catch the ball, we'll score the touchdowns. That's all. It's simple as that.
I mean,
It's
it's
as
on the
simple as
coordinator
that.
too to make easy reads for Joe. I
I
just
mean, bro, when I tell you some of these reads were Madden, like out of actually it's like route tree stuff where all right, we're gonna do a dig route, 10, slant, come across. Joe, why are you throwing it like two? Why you throwing it behind him? Lead him. Oh, we
Yeah,
come out 10 yard, we're gonna do a corner route. Joe,
it's
why are you underthrowing it?
it's over with.
It's egregious. It's egregious, man. I
It's over
just
with.
we got the win. And I'll say that I'm happy we got the win. I was ecstatic. Even Cody can contest it. When I called him, I was hyped, right? I knew our defense was going to step up. Kamal Hadden, hey man, bump what the haters said all year. I knew they were going to target you. I knew they were going to put you in that position because of what happened at the Florida game with the chest bump. And since then, he's been lights out. He reminds me a lot of Diggs. You know how Diggs gets a lot of touchdowns scored on him, but he gets a lot of picks because people try to pick on him because of that. That's how Kamal Hadden plays. Where it's like, oh, he made some mistakes, but he's going to get those interceptions. That's like his third pick of the year, right there. To this game. Oh, one this game, another guy. I think number one got the other one, but still, Kamal Hadden. Hey, great job, defense. All of you guys, the pressure we put up, keep that same pressure for Monroe. We're gonna want him to stay in that pocket, make him throw it, and we can get the interceptions. Offense, you gotta show up. This is a huge moment. You gotta show up. The cameras are gonna be there, especially after the win. We might mess around and have game day there. Uh, at this moment, we could, depending on who plays next week, we might have game day there. Don't let the moment get too big for you. Uh, it's let's see who plays next week. So, excuse me, y'all. I'm burped. Duke, FSU. No, probably not going to that game. Oh, Penn State, Ohio State. Yeah,
Definitely gonna be. So college game
but that's
day's
a
not
12
going
o'clock
there.
game, so they might not go to a noon game.
I mean, ours was a noon game. It don't matter
Uh,
what time it is. And I say
yeah.
that too. Ohio State, Penn State next week gonna be a big one. We'll cover that later this week.
Mhm.
And then you got Oregon and Washington State, which is another big one. Uh,
Utah,
Tennis,
USC, depending on if USC loses, which they are down right now.
yeah. So it's a lot more bigger games, I guess you
Yeah,
could
I
say.
don't. I think the biggest game besides ours is just Ohio, Penn State. The other ones won't be as big because we're still it's ranked on rank, and those are two that determine the SEC right there.
Well, Utah is ranked lower than y'all, and USC's ranked lower than Bama, so that would be.
But
Uh,
Utah, I thought Utah was losing last time I checked.
I don't know. I'm just saying, as of right now, it would
Yeah.
be a
Oh, disregard. They beat the dog crap out of Cal.
yeah. I say college game day would either if it wasn't going to Penn State, Ohio State, it either go to Florida State, Duke, or Utah, USC.
I don't know. I think that's just a huge game in the SEC right there because it determines
Yeah, that's a big game
the
too.
SEC
Don't get me
championship.
wrong.
So
It is a big game, but
I'm
definitely
about
Penn
dying
State,
just now.
Ohio State.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. We'll probably have a SEC network come out, SEC game day, whatever. They'll come out, whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah, definitely the biggest game in the SEC.
mm,
Um, but as y'all know now, SEC is trash. I will say that.
I'm not gonna say they're trash. They're
No, they're
inconsistent.
not trash. They're not trash. They're
They're
just not.
inconsistent, man. Like you show flashes of greatness. You have these teams, Kentucky, Missouri, and all these people who just show flashes of greatness. Even Georgia shows flashes of greatness, and then Vanderbilt rolls into town. And the first time, and I'm going to give Vanderbilt their flowers. Great job, Little Tennessee. You did a fantastic job. We didn't expect you to win. We just wanted you to show the chink in our armor, and you did that, man. Putting up 20 points when they haven't scored over a touchdown in what like 3-4 years against Georgia. Great job putting up 20 right there. Not a great job hurting Brock Bowers. I'll never cheer for people to get hurt, but you showed that Georgia without Brock Bowers ain't all pushing daisies. They got a lot to work on still. But you
Which
couldn't get any
everybody
better.
does. I mean,
Yeah,
Oklahoma had a practice after the Texas game, and the player said, "You would have thought we lost the game. How
yeah,
hard we got coached." So,
yeah. Tennessee's about to do that, but Kentucky is up 14-0 against Mizzou, which I
so,
said they would be.
so right now, I think Tennessee likely playoff team. Doubt it. I could honestly see them going like 4-2,
In
mm,
SEC play, or over the next few games,
possibly, possibly three
5
and
and 1.
three.
What other games think we dropping?
Possibly Kentucky.
No, no. Kentucky, Devin Leary is not consistent enough to beat. We see this every year. They do the same thing. They beat the Missouris. They beat the
That's why I said
Vandies.
possible. I don't
They
think
they
it's
beat Florida,
likely.
and then
I don't think it's likely. 5-1. Yeah, I could see. I mean, 6-0 is out there on the table. don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
It's
that.
reachable, but can we attain it? It's reachable.
If
Will
I
they go
know,
grab it?
it's like my team. If I know anything about Tennessee, nah, they about to fumble it. If I know
Yeah, I
anything about
mean,
Oklahoma, we gonna fumble it. So
yeah, but the moment's big enough. These guys, I'm I don't know, man. I'm just saying I'm excited we won this game. This is a game that I said if we can beat A&M, I think we can beat Bama, right? And that's what I still feel the same. If we can beat A&M, we can beat Bama.
y'all can beat Bama, and I want to
So
make that very clear to Tennessee fans out there watching, whoever it is, that Tennessee can run the table. They can. Don't get me wrong, they can.
yeah,
Um,
I mean nosebleeds. You're right. I seen his comments. I'm finally on here looking at them now. But how many years have Tennessee said this about Joe? Joe's been there. I mean, Joe got benched early though because he got injured in the
he ain't in there no
Pitt
more,
game.
fool.
No, I'm just responding to
Oh,
it 'cause that's all. He got benched that game, and then our kicker also. I don't know what happened with that first one. The wind was blowing. They said the way the weather was in the stadium, one side of the field was getting crazy wind because of the way the direction was coming. So it was a downdraft. But I will say that same downdraft caused A&M to miss their kick too. So then with
yeah,
the kick at the same side, we miss it, and they also miss it because the wind, the way it was swirling coming off that, made the wind pretty crazy right there, and it caused two solid kickers to miss. So thank you God for that. We needed it. Uh, we were going to win either way, but we'll take any extra help you can give us, sir. Thank you. But that's about it for Tennessee. I've said my piece. I've said my mind. I was upset because of the way Joe played. I'm grateful we got the win at the end of the day.
it's the most
Defense
important thing.
defense wins you championships, right? At the end of the day,
They ain't all
defense
gonna
is
be
what gets it
pretty.
done. We look at Georgia. Offense wasn't great. Defense carried them through. So if defense can keep getting stops and getting the offense back the ball, eventually we're going to score, right? Keep turning out these turnovers, these 4 and outs, these great plays you're making, stumping decent quarterbacks, and we'll get the win at the end of the day. So with that being said, I'm just looking back through some of the games of the day. We did see an upset, quote unquote, not really upset, but a big loss. That's a big loss in the top 10 right there with Oregon and Washington. Is a huge rivalry. It's the first time both teams in their history of their rivalry have been ranked in the top 10. And seeing those teams go down, which means there's going to be some stirring of the pot in the top 25, right? Um, we're also going to see some more of that with UCLA and Oregon State. Somebody else has to go right there at the end of the day. And Miami and UNC. If Miami messes around and get the dub right there with UNC, which I don't predict they will, we'll see some movement. Same with USC and Notre Dame. If USC loses, which is 10-3 right now, we can see some more movement with that big dog. So it's an exciting weekend for Tennessee because we won. Uh, and you can't make us go backwards after a win because that's crap. You did it last time. That's crap. Don't do that. Uh, I mean, if anybody goes backwards after a win, I'd be looking at Georgia kind of. Georgia might need to move somewhere, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, y'all beat a not good A&M team.
We say not good, but they were bragging about their defense. Oh, A&M defense is A&M defense that they
No,
were
I'm
bragging
just
about.
saying what the committee will say. I'm just saying what the
Of
committee
course,
will
yeah.
say.
They don't like
So,
Tennessee. Committee don't
I
like
mean,
us.
it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like y'all beat a not a good A&M team by 7. Alabama, you beat a not good A&M team by 6. So, um,
But how many points
it's
did A&M score in Alabama versus us? Then we kicks. They got mostly kicks. You got one touchdown, and all the rest were kicks. You scored at the very beginning and kick, kick, kick. I
yeah.
mean,
So, I mean, like I said, Tennessee has things to clean up, which every team in America does.
yeah.
So don't get it twisted.
We shouldn't
Everybody
still be
does.
cleaning up though, bro.
I mean,
That's the
everybody does. I
thing.
mean,
We
Oklahoma,
shouldn't
we gave
still be
up
cleaning it up.
the most points last week against Texas, which Texas is a great team, but I mean, you don't want to. We had a lot of miscues in
Mhm.
that game, which we had 5 sacks, 2 picks, and I think 4 TFLs. So everybody has things to clean up. That might sound good on paper, but the game was close and they still scored 30 points. So it's my dog is going. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
anyway,
we live. You gotta expect stuff like that live. There's no
yeah,
edits. We have bros and mics. You get what you get, and you're gonna like it or not. At the end of the day.
yeah. Nah, I didn't care what y'all think. Honestly,
You gonna get what you get. We coming
so
to you live, man. But no, wrap it up. We still got some more. We'll actually get a legitimate recap video of the whole weekend, so you can kind of hear our thoughts on all of them, a little bit more broken down between the two. But with that, I just had to get on here and put it back out for Tennessee. Like I said, we had some great plays that were made that I didn't get around to showing, but I will show them. At least one of them right here was this D Williams punt return. We wanted him to get the ball in his hand the entire time. It's just a matter of when they were going to throw it to the man, right? When they're going to kick it to him. They kept kicking away from him. We had a penalty that caused some of the kicks to go back a little bit further. They didn't want him to get the ball, but the moment he got the ball, the moment wasn't too big for him, and he let him know what was up with it. I'll bring it in right now. Let me share screen. Oh, I don't think I'm sharing the chat at all. Moment's too big for me. Piss it down my leg, man. It is. I hate that I gotta click a million buttons to get this up. Let's make sure it's clear. Is it clear on your end?
He did.
So you get it right here at the 40.
Yes, he did. From the 39.
Makes moves outside. Cuts it back to the right.
Reverses
And
field.
open field ahead of him. He uses that speed that I think it's that 4.4 speed is what he got. Use that 4.4 speed to really get to the outside and make something shake right there. That's what you want to see, man. When you get your chance, you can't miss your opportunity. And one thing you can't do, you cannot let the kicker stop you. The kicker came down there. Don't let the kicker stop you. That is not an option, my man. That is not an option. But no, like I said, I'm excited. That's one of my favorite plays of the game. That really piped me up, so to speak.
so you only scored 2 touchdowns this game.
No, that's a touchdown. What are you talking about? Yeah, we scored 2 touchdowns and then we kicked it's 2 field goals. We also missed a field goal because of the win, like I said. So that gives us a little more. But yeah, we scored 14 points. No. We scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter. We scored the punt return in the third quarter and then 2 kicks.
Offense.
Yeah.
So you only scored 1 touchdown.
No. Yeah. We got, excuse me, sorry guys. We got just 1 touchdown right there. Joe Milton gave to, I think, Jacob Warren, tight end. He caught it. He caught it going up the side right there and used big body to get to the corner. Actually, it should have been a pick 6, but he caught a small touchdown right there. But defense put him in that position. Defense won championships. Either way it go, special teams defense showed out today, and we see the result of that with a dub because Joe Milton just couldn't get it done. So, but no, that's it, man. Thank you so much for stopping by the live for this next little 37 minutes. There's some big games on. Like I said, we got USC Notre Dame. With about 6 or so minutes in the game in the second quarter, it's 10-7. We also got LSU whooping on old Auburn over there because why bump the whole state of Alabama, all of them. So that's a direct Tennessee quote. The whole state of Alabama. Come on. 27, get the dub, LSU. We can go on about our way because the East is better than the West. Thank you so much. I am Tom.
Cody.
You know what's up? It is Bros with Mics, man. Thank you so much for coming, and we are out this thing.